With no further ado, please arm yourselves with pens and shield yourselves with graph paper as we gather around the campfire of our collective imaginations, once again joining our gifted youngsters, this time at the tail end of their latest mission, saving the world from nuclear devastation. They land in the secret hangar bay of the school for gifted youngsters. They defeated Tempest and his fellowship of Evolvates, having captured Tsunami and Mako. However, it was at the great cost of the professor's life where they land. Surge helps take the professor off the jet, while Flashbang and Eyeliner take Tsunami and Mako off. This is your opportunity to ask your captives anything you'd like, as they have regained consciousness. Although Mako was never unconscious, they were merely captured.
We have information we still need from them.
That would be up to you. Is there anything you want to ask them about their powers, their history, about Tempest, about other members of either the Eco Watch or the Fellowship of Evolvates? Then it sounds like people are happy simply to mourn the loss of their friend.
Yeah.
The Dean and Esper come in through the bay door to the north of you. Esper is crying, saying that she wishes she didn't have to cut off the psychic link, but it was the only way to protect all of you from this egregious damage. She saw through your eyes as it happened, and she swears that Tempest will rue the day that he faced the gifted. She swears, and as her powers express themselves, the G-Jet lifts a little bit. You are all shaken as her psychokinetic powers are restrained, and Dean Elerace the 15th says that Tsunami and Mako will need to be brought to justice. This is a school and not a courthouse.
Don't know how they're gonna get, a fair trial when they can just, run away with their superpowers.
Well, I imagine there's probably superpower prisons.
They're definitely getting, at least federal prison, because they did try to steal nuclear weapons.
I'm imagining this is you as Flashbang saying it.
Yeah. This is Flashbang. Oh yeah, could I have asked questions? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, we'll give you control of Flashbang until your new character comes in.
Okay, I don't know his voice, but I'm just gonna say to Mako or Tsunami, do you guys have a base of operations where, Tempest might hide away to?
And just for the sake of speed, I'm going to have him roll his taunt. He succeeds, and Tsunami says that the Eco Watch does have an underwater base deep in the Pacific.
Okay.
But because they are separate from the Fellowship of Evolvates, he can't answer anything involving them.
And what was the other room called?
The Eco Watch.
Okay.
The Economy Watch.
And so, Tempest is a dual member. He's the leader of the Fellowship of Evolvates, and he appears to be the same rank as Tsunami in the Eco Watch, while Mako and the Crab were more junior members.
You think Tempest will do next? Do I need to make some kind of persuasion?
You would need to do some kind of social role in order to get additional information out, yes. You're offering persuasion?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try some persuasion.
You succeed. And yes, he says that with all of us defeated, he is likely to try and recruit new gifted to the cause.
Okay.
After that, he could strike again, or he may want to move on to the next step of his plan prematurely.
Do you know the next step?
There were discussions about the possible ways it would go. He was thinking that with all that nuclear power, he could use it to launch a new... he used it to lift some debris from the ocean floor and create a new island for the gifted. He wanted to create a haven, a safe place for all of us to live on.
Okay.
And
That seems...
due to the ecosystem of the ocean. I mean, I just gotta ask.
Well, with me and him together, we would be able to control the impacts. You would think that there would be some tsunamis and earthquakes in response to that, but he could control the weather and I could control the oceans, and we could limit the impact and, in fact, even create truly a haven, a place where hunger would be scarce and animals would coexist with gifted, humans would coexist with us Homo superior.
Well, it would have been a lot easier if he had an extremely powerful psychokinetic with him, but, you know, there aren't any of those anymore.
Asper gives Flashbang kind of a sharp look.
That was probably in bad taste. I'm sorry. Forgive my, making light of the situation.
What was Thornweaver saying?
Oh, I mean, that's having a new country, that's not tied to anywhere else for gifted's not actually a terrible idea.
No, but his methods aren't exactly.
Well, you know.
He's out getting the missiles from the sub. He still has other missiles from other countries, or bombs, or whatever nuclear weapons he stole.
Well, there might be other ways to do it without the nuke.
With Cortico,
we already had enough to actually generate it. The issue was that if the USA still has their nuclear arsenal, then they could still wipe us off the map. That's what we were really worried about. We already have the power to create the island.
And perchance, with the power of Cortico, an extremely powerful mutant, would someone be able to do that? If we, with our capability, could we do that?
I'm sorry, who's Cortico? This is Tsunami saying.
Oh, it's just like
and then in his mind, Flashbang's going to hear Dean Ayler's in his head say, "We don't want to reveal our secrets to the enemy."
It's my ex-wife.
And he's fully clothed from head to toe, so he's no reason to disbelieve this.
She took half my money and everything.
She must be a powerful gifted then. Yes, there are some gifted who their ability is to enhance or augment the powers of others, and if such a one existed, then perhaps I would even be able to lift an island by myself.
Okay.
What's that?
Well, too bad you're not. My ex-wife doesn't like you. I don't think you're her type.
He does like a little peck dance with the guy. I can be pretty persuasive.
Oh, okay. Get out of my sight. We go to jail. Go to federal prison now. Bye-bye. Have fun facing the Supreme Court.
Does X12 have anything she'd like to ask?
I'll roll her persuasion, but she's not very good. Hold on. Yeah, she wants to know where.
What about instead of persuasion, if it's not very good? What about the one?
It's the only social skill she has.
Oh,
It'd be untrained for everything else.
okay.
She wants to know where Tsunami's base is.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
Ooh.
See, look at that. Believe in yourself. Excellent. So Thornweaver already has a pretty good idea, like somewhere it is, or at least where the nuclear missiles are being stored, and Tsunami will rattle off the GPS coordinates of its location and then tell you how many thousands of meters deep it is. And it's only by Mako's and Crab's gifts, as well as my water manipulation or Tempest's weather manipulation, that any of us are able to access it. If you wanted to go there, you'd probably need to bring me or have an invitation from Tempest.
So it's too deep for normal people to survive.
Even with their most advanced technologies, yes, the submarines would even burst.
I was gonna say we maybe convert the Y-Wing into a submarine, but that's probably not gonna work.
No, you need some sort of a bathysphere or something. One of those things they send down in the bottom of the Mindanao Trench.
Okay. Well, that is a pickle. But
And then you can't get out either.
But with our powers, such things do not restrain us like they do humans.
do you guys do your taxes? Like that must be a prime spot of real estate down there. How many taxes do you have to do?
We are far enough off of the coast that we are not beholden to mortal laws. So no, we do not pay taxes, nor would anybody in our gifted nation.
Oh, okay. Okay. Socialism, unlike this.
Please, don't be reductive.
Okay. He's also, I guess has like a checklist on it, says, and he's writing tax evasion on there. Just like the list of crimes these guys are in for, I guess.
You going for some RICO charges?
Yeah. I'm gonna send a letter to like the U.S. government, like just sending them the crime. I'm whispering this to my friends, just like, we're gonna get these guys in the slammer, okay? They ain't getting out.
Surge will mention that it's maritime law. Like these things, usually, like you could kill somebody on the ocean if you're like 50 miles away, and like it doesn't count, sort of.
You're not really in anyone's jurisdiction.
Exactly.
Plus, I don't think Tempest is a citizen, is he?
So we could rock up to Tempest and beat him to a, death, and
Or he's
no
gonna
one
eat
could.
you.
Are there any mer people living out there? Is there a colony of underwater gifted?
I think this is going to require an additional roll.
All right. More persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tsunami is quiet, but Mako will say that he has seen others sort of like him. Maybe not mer people exactly, but there do appear to be more than just humans and gifted on this planet.
Atlantis, I knew it. It does exist. So we know the location of the base. We know that Tempest might be there, recovering from his...
Yeah, but that's Tsunami's base, not Tempest's.
Well, Tempest and Tsunami co-own the base.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, like, that would be the closest place he'd go
That's
to, like,
probably
heal.
where he went. And we can't get there without trusting these guys.
Yeah. Or we could find
Developing other contacts.
Yeah.
Maybe we could find a mutant that, or at the school who has, hydrokinesis.
Or could turn into water creatures or talk to water creatures.
Well, they'd have to be able to create like some sort of a super strong force field to protect us from the pressure more than anything.
I suppose so. I feel like we should bring, Theodore's body into the school. I mean, like, into, like, you know, a place that we can store him where he won't rot away.
Dean Aileris will say, "Yes, I agree. It is time to put our dear ally to rest." Then he's going to wave his hand. Tsunami and Mako will fall unconscious, and then Esper will psychically lift them up. Open the door, and then send them to their probable incarceration.
Yeah.
Everybody can fully rest.
Quick button for that. Or do you just give yourself all your PowerPoints back?
I think. Next to the PowerPoint, there's a little like recycle icon.
Gosh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh,
You're click it multiple times.
Yeah, just jam it a couple times. And nobody's wounded, except for Theodore.
Wound is a little bit of an understatement.
So in this world, is there any genetic modification stuff going on?
that's what Samantha has.
Yeah,
Well,
there absolutely is. It's usually like
we may
super
not
secret.
need Mako and Tsunami if we could just, you know, take their powers.
Wait a second, isn't
You would need this.
isn't she a clone? Right?
No, the clones were someone else, right?
Yeah, Clone was a person actually named Clone.
I'm talking about, oh, she's not like a test tube baby? That's what I'm trying to say?
X12 is not a test tube baby.
She's genetically enhanced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, maybe we could just take some DNA from Graham and store it in a bank somewhere. I don't know.
Well,
You know,
the X program could probably take their DNA and make soldiers, but we're gonna have to wait 12 to 15 years until they're ready.
We just need rapid acceleration.
no.
But if you wanted to homebrew some genetic modifications, you probably want to speak to Dr. Muscles about that, since she is the multi-laureate member of the staff. It is one day later, and you all have all recovered. In the privacy of your dorms, Esper speaks to you all one at a time and asks you if there's anything you need to discuss to be properly debriefed from the terrible ordeal you have faced. She is the school counselor after all. Flashbang specifically says that he can't do this anymore. That after seeing Theodore die and nearly dying himself, he simply can not stand to imagine himself drowning underwater, crushed by the depths. He knows that this was their first mission and it went sideways. He needs time.
Yeah. I mean, he did see one of his friends get electrocuted to death underwater.
Yeah, he did. Charlie, I think you got booted from the server.
Yeah, I did. The map wasn't loading, so I tried to like reload the game, but you know, like I'm getting back in right now. I
Gotcha.
just reloaded. So, you know.
So Nina would talk to Esper about feeling bad for failing to be able to heal the professor. Like the challenges of needing to be so close to actually use healing and wanting to figure out ways to heal from a distance or store healing powers in, like portable plants for people.
I imagine you have your verdant core with you when it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And as you two are talking, your tears fall on it, and it animates on its own. I was going to do this in the funeral scene, but this is your like special gift this time. Is that you kind of get what you wished for, and you find that the verdant core it pulls itself around you in a gentle embrace, and Esper is a little bit shocked, and then it animates of its own accord, and you can feel your will through it. Essentially, the verdant core is giving you another point to emanate your powers from. So long as you have a direct line to the verdant core, you can cast your powers from it, which means that it still needs to like touch people to heal them, but you don't need to be there.
So, like, if I use any of my vines and stuff.
It can be from the core instead, yes.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Samantha would say that she is having difficulty letting go of the rage she's feeling towards Tempest, and that she can't help but feel personally responsible for the professor's death. It should have been her.
Esper will try to encourage Samantha and explain that you all did the best you could, and from what she saw, his arrogance and overconfidence was ultimately what caused his end. If he had stayed with you all, which is what you all trained to do, then Samantha could have rescued him, then you could have protected him, and he could have been a greater asset than he was a risk to himself. It's not your fault, Samantha. He was either trying to protect you all, or he had some ulterior motives that seemed to be lurking underneath the surface.
Yes, he was a very shady old man.
Yeah, but he was our shady old man.
Yeah, here's your creepy old uncle who just, hanged around and got drunk at family parties and reunions.
And afterwards, Dr. Muscles speaks to Samantha. She asks, she had heard from Esper that Samantha had gotten very attached to a particular weapon, and Dr. Muscles offers to upgrade it for you.
Here's my knife.
She will take it with two hands, and the next day she will return it to you right before the funeral, and explains that she has re-honed it to a molecular edge, so it does 2d4 damage instead of base d4 damage.
Thank you, Dr. Muscles.
You are a powerful adversary, Samantha, but do not forget that you are the keenest edge. It is not your weapon.
Wise words. Thank you, Doctor.
And most auspiciously, it is raining when you all go to the grounds cemetery of the School for Gifted Youngsters. There is no priest. There is nobody to carry the casket except for the original members of the Gifted: Seraph, the Badger, Dr. Muscles, Esper, and Eyeliner. After they lay it down, everybody please make a notice check, including Thaddeus.
Oh yeah, I think I'm still connected to Vincent. Oh wait, yeah. And one thing I needed to tell you about, the map is completely black for me. It's...
I fixed it.
Oh, you might not have vision.
Yeah.
Is that better now?
Yes, it is much better.
Good.
Just notice, you said?
Yeah, roll notice.
Notice, 1d4. Let's see. Roll the dice.
Nice.
Nina doesn't notice anything. Probably her eyes are too clouded by the rain, and she's not crying, she swears. Samantha notices Thaddeus. Why don't you describe yourself?
Okay. So Thaddeus is a 6'5", very muscular and I guess you would say young man. He's around 25 years old. He has black hair, medium length black hair, and dark and deep gray eyes. He's strangely, if Theodore was 50 years younger and filled with the brim with vigor and strength. He is extremely toned, but not bulky. I'd akin him to be lanky and extremely fit and toned, not strong man toned. And he also has a deep grim frown on his face, or stoic.
Okay. He's the token with the jaw length, brown hair, and the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yes.
Yes, the one closest to the coffin.
Yep.
He looks kind of like a delinquent.
Don't half of us.
Additionally, Thaddeus and Samantha see that Hellcat and her sister, the Whirling Dervish, are also here in the same line as the original Gifted. These are not the villains who killed the professor, but they were in the same league as the Fellowship of the Evolvates.
I guess Thaddeus would bring them a glare at them, but then he'd be like, oh, these lasers are kind of,
Yes, you also see the Grappler. This is the same man who launched a net at Samantha.
Oh.
Have they been re-educated?
You would need to speak to them about that.
Okay.
The Dean is going to wheel forward, and he will make a speech saying that Theodore Graham was a welcome chaperone, escort, professor, and teacher, all for his short-lived tenure at the school. He was brave to a fault, often risking his life, first doing so to save many of the students after some terrible organization sought out to abduct them. It is only thanks to, and he waves to your line of Samantha and Nina, our newest colleagues of the Gifted, that he was able to even survive this long. I fear that though he had a long life, he may not have ended it how he wanted it to. And so we must take this message into stride. He's going to produce the gifted cane that he was given before, and then hand it to Thaddeus Graham. We have with us today the grandson of Theodore. Please, as part of your inheritance, would you accept his cane? It was a gift from me upon his acceptance as a member of the staff.
I would gladly accept my grandfather's vigil, and I guess reverently grab the cane in both hands.
And as soon as you put your second hand on it, you feel a strange shaking energy go through your body. The Dean gets a shocked look on his face, and then energy emanates from you, knocking many of you away.
Can I describe how it looks and stuff, if
Absolutely.
That's okay?
Yeah, describe it. I just had that animation handy.
As he grabs the cane, his once gray eyes turn this glowing orange and red color. Around his body, I guess psychic fire kind of erupts around him. He looks like he's being set ablaze with orange and red and violet energies just emanating from him. The cane, which once was regal and engraved, is now looking sharp, jagged, and more like a battle mace, as it just morphs into this monstrous thing. His face, which once was like sad and, mourning, has now gained some sort of deep commitment to it. I guess he'd go up to his grandfather's grave to give a speech, I guess.
Is he still on fire?
Yeah, I guess so. He doesn't really care. It's not hurting him.
More like an aura than like a true fire.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was gonna knock him over and stop, drop, and roll.
I mean, it feels pretty hot, but I guess he'd give a speech right now. Bleh. My parents, when I was young, my parents had died. Theodore was the one who raised me from 5 years of age. He gave me an education. He fed me, he clothed me, he was my hero. This Tempest, this man who besmirched my family's honor, who took my grandfather's life, I have gained a deep power from my grandfather's last gift to me. It is time I repaid the blood debt that Tempest owed. I vow on my grandfather's grave and his body that I will end this blood feud with Tempest's death. Hark the rise of the Arbiter. And I guess he'd strike like a, not really a pose, but like more like a smolder,
Most of those gathered here are quiet, but the badger raises his hands in the air and gives that military hoo 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 hoo.
Yes. And then I guess he'd give his grandfather one last look and just step away.
Would anybody else like to make a speech?
I could grow some flowers at his grave.
That's very sweet.
I guess they'd be purple.
Purple flowers?
Yeah, I mean, that was his color. He owned that color.
Okay, he can have some purple flowers.
Samantha will just walk up to the casket and bow her head in silence.
Were you the people who were on his team when he died?
Yes, we were with him when he died.
Did he go out like a baller? Like he always said he would?
He went out like something, that's alright.
You mean running, headfirst into danger? Because, he did that.
Yeah.
Well, running meaning teleport himself, straight into danger, but yeah.
Are you familiar with the term Leroy Jenkins?
He is also one of our family members, distant relation.
Well, he pulled a Leroy Jenkins.
Good man. I too aspire to such fearlessness in the face of danger and death.
After you have all made peace with your loss, Esper is going to psychokinetically lift him into his mausoleum, and then Dean Elerace the 15th is going to produce a small projector and say there was one more thing he wanted to make sure we could remember him by. And then he plays the professor's version of virtual insanity.
Yes. And Thaddeus, I guess, tears up while smiling.
I guess Thaddeus is familiar with that dance.
Yes, we shared a love of his songs. My personal favorite is Pantheat, while he loved Virtual Insanity.
Esper will say that he certainly had a gift to do this without anybody filming him or anything. He didn't need a treadmill. He didn't need even a silly hat.
I unfortunately was not born with a gift, but with these new powers that my grandfather has given me, I long to see what heights I can achieve.
Yes, and the dean will approach you and say, they are gifts indeed. It appears that he has proverbially passed the torch. If you are willing, we do have space in our school where you may learn to hone your talents safely.
Yes, quite. I would love to see the place my grandfather worked at.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was also gonna try to move over to the demon girls, Whirling Dervish and the person of that, because his grandfather did text him a bunch of stuff. He had a phone that he used constantly.
Let me just look at his character sheet real fast. Go ahead, make an unskilled attempt roll for Theodore, because he did not have an electronic skill. For him to have told Thaddeus anything about Hellcat and Whirling Dervish in the midst of a mission seems unlikely. So you can make that unskilled attempt roll.
Okay.
While you do that, like I said, the grappler is going to walk towards Samantha, and once Samantha backs up away from her, she says, hey, this is Harlow Grant. We're not going to have any troubles here.
Oh yeah. I got an 8.
I'll get to your roll in just a moment.
Still working for the company?
New company now, actually. The previous ones, they found that my failures were too egregious. I just figured I would let you know, since I do admire your skills and your talents, that it's a mess out there for you types.
Yeah, say that again.
I have rumor that one of them, named was by Clone, has infiltrated the United States government.
Because that's original.
What level? Or don't you know?
That I don't know too much. My clearance was revoked before I could get too much deeper. I just figured if anybody was going to stop her, we have the same skin in the game on this one. I don't want her in power, and I figure if you were already fighting her, like we did at the diner, you feel the same way.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
And right now, seems like she's a mutual enemy, and my current boss agrees. In fact, he hates you freaks more than your original owners did.
Well, sounds like a future friendship then.
And then he's going to give you his card and say, if you learn anything, maybe we could work together for the time being.
All right, no promises.
Ain't that the truth? And then he's going to kick some dirt onto your shoes and walk away.
What a scamp.
So my shoes are already muddy from the rain, so...
Yeah, they'll get worse. Maybe, would you like to make a common knowledge check?
Sure.
And then while you're doing that, go to Thaddeus. You got the raise, so yeah, it's not that you got the messages, it's that the professor recorded a bunch of things and Thaddeus has inherited the cell phone.
Okay. Oh yes, I did see footage of you demon people from Hungary.
Samantha knows that amongst cowboys, it's actually somewhat considered a sign of respect to kick the dirt onto your boots.
Okay.
It's all about context, right?
Forgive me.
Whirling Dervish will step to Thaddeus. Hellcat's going to fold her arms, looking at him kind of sarcastically. And no need to roll for this, but after calling them demon people, the rain starts to sizzle and steam as it strikes Hellcat's body.
Well, I'm on fire still, so, we're kind of just mashing energies here. Do not worry, I'm not, insulting you. I, in fact, very much like you people. You showed great promise in the footage I watched.
We are all here on peaceable terms. He was a brave warrior.
Yes, he was. Anywho, can I have your number?
Is he asking Hellcat or Whirling Dervish?
Hellcat, I guess.
Let's do a persuasion check at -2.
Let's see. Ugh.
Yeah, you weren't even a gifted until 5 minutes ago.
Okay. Honestly, in the lore, I kind of made him like a bouncer in my head canon. I guess he was like a bouncer for a gifted bar. You know, because they're not really liked in any other bar, so they kind of had to make one of their own, and he's just like a bouncer there. If that's okay, that's just like background.
That's fine. So with the -2, Hellcat is going to laugh and say that you weren't even a twinkle in your grandfather's eye when she got her first powers. You don't know who you're speaking to, little man. And as she's looking up at Thaddeus. Then she's going to turn to Samantha and say, if it isn't the most mighty member of the Gifted, are you surprised to see me and my sister? Dean Aileres and we have an agreement. But, and then the whirling dervish is going to kind of like hip bump into Thaddeus. You could join the fellowship if you feel like this school is beneath you.
Yeah, you'll have to fight me for it, you know. When you're out in the world and you know, are looking for a fight, remember the name of the Arbiter. Just in case. And if I win that eventual fight we are definitely going to have someday, I'd get your number. Do you agree to these terms?
Well,
Because if I'm...
you've been powered for all of 20 minutes and you've already decided what your name is.
Yes. I mean, I wanted to be superpowered since I was 5 years old, so this is kind of a dream come true.
Hellcat is going to try to use some of her powers to kind of like dismiss Thaddeus.
I cast a spell. Is that okay? Or
let's do it. Yeah, let's have a roll off. Roll your focus.
My
Dance off here.
Yeah.
You have a strong chance of beating her.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't put all his powers into focus, but I sure tried. I definitely did. Let's see. A roll of the dice.
And the dice.
She got the 5, you got the 3. And so she is going to push you down the cliff harmlessly. And then turn back to Thornweaver and X12 and say, ladies, the same question goes to you. The offer is on the table. If you are ready to graduate, the fellowship would be glad to have you.
We're not ready to graduate, but give the Tempest a message. I'm coming to see him.
I think this can be arranged, and she's going to summon a little dude. She conjures a hellbat.
If we're going to talk to Tempest, can Thaddeus, if he hears that, he's gonna very quickly try to climb up the cliff.
Yeah, come on up. She's going to whisper to the hellbat, and then it will fly off into the distance.
Oh.
He should. get the message, but I can't guarantee he'll respond anytime soon.
I am sorry for previous transgression. I sincerely need to send him a message. Please, this is very important.
Is the message, "I'm coming for you"? She says, with the finger quotations.
It is a little more complicated than that, I think. If your bat can record such a message.
Try a flat persuasion. It's not exactly easy to summon and concentrate on multiple hellbats.
Yeah. I just wanted to, if he can't do this, you're just gonna send, a letter to him. Yes.
She says that, "I think that the sentiment will carry from the previous message. I did say it was from the gifted, and not merely from Samantha."
Yes, but I am going to beat him to death with my mace. You do realize this?
Not sure your gifted classmates agree with that.
Okay. I understand your proclivities to not want to murder people. I understand that. But I will say, I'm not trying to be out of game. I'm not trying to be like a murder hobo who's gonna kill everyone. This is just Tempest.
For your grandfather.
Yes, it's blood feud, back in game.
Oh yeah, this is certainly personal.
This is a very personal matter. He owes my... Have you heard of the ancient Norse concept of a blood debt?
Hellcat will chuckle and say that the concept is much older than that. I'm familiar.
Okay. Well, it's very applicable in this case, and I will massacre him to restore my family's honor and legacy as the greatest gifted family that has ever existed and ever will exist.
Whirling Dervish will offer that this might be a short-sighted goal. Perhaps that runs in your gifted family as well, but don't you think it would be better to submit him to your will? To not merely kill him, but conquer him. And then it would be a much greater embarrassment than to merely die.
I do not wish to embarrass him. He's still an honorable warrior. I simply wish to beat him in fair combat to the most greatest degree. I'm still honorable, I just want to kill him.
So if we let you fight him in single combat, would you be disappointed if you lost?
No,
I mean, because, that's exactly what happened to your grandfather.
First off, try and stop me.
Well, more to maybe let us help you rather than try to do it all by yourself.
Yes, the sacred power of friendship. A lesson that my grandfather did not taught me, but I am more than willing to learn.
Speaking of learning, besides the fellowship, Samantha, I have noticed that you have a unique gift that you might be a capable sorceress in the future if you wanted to investigate that.
Sorceress?
The gift is not the only source of power in this world. The rest of them, these occults, these technologies, they're all avenues to other routes to power. Yes, I am myself not merely a gifted, but a sorceress myself. You might call me a wizard or a witch.
Intriguing. I'm not 100% sure I'm even a gifted myself. I was product of a laboratory experiment.
You must have had something latent that they augmented, they activated, just as the cane did for Thaddeus.
I wanted to ask a question.
Ask.
What the the cane exhibit any magical properties, seeing as, it is, a weird thing.
It is the same psionic crystal, so it has the same usual thing where it can store up to 20 power points in it, and you can use bennies to kind of like trick with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did want to ask, is there any way to augment it to maybe make it more melee focused? Because
that might be exactly something you would do during the shopping session.
yes.
It would certainly be possible. Unless you are asking Whirling Dervish or Hellcat if they have any feedback of the sort.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to ask, if you know much about the occult and the magical, do you know anything about the afterlife? Maybe I wish to know where my grandfather has gone.
She suppresses, like she smirks for a moment and then goes very flat in the face and says that there is certainly an afterlife. However, I don't think your grandfather is as far as anybody thinks he might be. He is a stubborn old coot.
So you're telling me he's a ghost man now? He's like a psychic god, like he always said he would become.
I think ghost is a more apt term than vulgarity you followed up with, yes.
So psychic god it is, because I prefer that.
I think if he is a ghost, he's inhabiting you. You sound just like Thaddeus.
He did raise me, but he did not wish to murder people, unfortunately. I suppose I am a bit more violent than my grandfather expected. I am a bouncer.
I'm pretty sure bouncers aren't supposed to kill people.
Yes, but I'm a bouncer for a very prestigious bar for gifted individuals. I know my way around. You have to use a little more force on them than the normal individual to make them get out of a drunken stupor. Oh yeah, by the way, here's some cards for the bar, just in case you guys, want to get a little tipsy and not have to worry about getting lynched by some idiotic mob of normies.
Eyeliner's gonna step in and scoop those cards out of your hand and say, they're teenagers. They can't drink.
Oh, I was talking about Whirling
okay.
Dervish.
Oh, gotcha. That's fine. Badger will take one of the cards.
Good. Anywho, so
Sorry, what'd you say, Lynx?
I'm gonna ask Hellcat what her favorite color is.
Hellcat will say her favorite color is red. And as well, she hopes that you didn't feel besmirched by her earlier comment about Samantha being having the potential for a sorceress. Anybody has a potential for magic. It's just that the gift to enhance yourself is a rare one, and its versatility really lends itself towards spellcasting. However, Nina, your gift it's different. She can't tell if you are the source of your powers, or if you are communing with the earth itself. There's a different type of magic you might want to investigate. Perhaps in the mall, you would want to encounter some of those exotic plants at the local horticulture store.
perchance.
Throw her a red flower and give it to her and tell her thank you for coming. And then to Whirling Dervish, I'll ask her the same question. What's her favorite color?
A silver blue.
Okay. I'll make her a flower. It'll grow and bloom in that color and hand it to her.
They look at each other, pleased, and they both say simultaneously, "Thank you, Nina."
You're welcome.
Is there any type of magic that can physically enhance the body, make you faster or stronger.
I can do that to myself. I just can't do it to you.
Precisely, Samantha. That is why you would be such a great sorceress. There are such spells, however. I know a few incantations, but I fear that they are a bit higher grade than you're ready for, Thaddeus. If you wanted to join the fellowship, then perhaps you could begin your tutelage.
I mean, I'm not opposed to such a notion, but I'd have to get rid of Tempest for it first. That's kind of a given. I can't be in the same organization as him.
Well, once you have kicked him off the throne, you will know where to find us. And then
Yes.
Hellcat will murmur something, begin to float, and then Whirling Dervish and her will zip off into the distance.
My grandfather always liked people who were older than him.
Is there anyone else you'd like to interact with on this scene?
Samantha needs to talk to Dean Ehlers about the clone.
Sure, how do you approach him?
Professor, can I talk to you a minute?
Certainly, in public or in private.
We don't need to broadcast it, but here's fine. You saw the man that was talking to me earlier?
I did.
He gave me some information about the clone.
Yes, unlike Hellcat and the Whirling Dervish, she seemed to have escaped our capture.
She is apparently trying to infiltrate the U.S. government. At what levels, he did not know, but it sounds like something we should be wary of.
We should. Anti-gifted sentiment has been on the rise, and I'm unsure if she is fabricating those efforts at this point, if what you say is true, or if she's trying to foil them.
It could be either one. I don't trust him.
She could be anybody. She could be the president as far as we know.
Yeah. She's probably whichever senator is beating the drum against gifted the loudest.
It's really been House Minority Leader Michael Murray has been the one trying to put forward the budget against the gifted.
Probably either him or someone on his staff. It's just my intuition. I know nothing other than that's how I feel. But
we'll have to keep our fingers on the pulse of the situation. If any of you can come up with an approach, I would be happy to facilitate it.
Political assassination.
Is Dr. Muscles out here?
Dr. Muscles is here.
I guess the one with. Oh, okay. I want to talk to Dr. Muscles.
Hello, Thornweaver. I like your little friend.
Oh, thank you. She keeps growing. So I have a question about Mako and Tsunami. So they gave us the location for the base that Tempest is probably hiding at, but it's so deep in the ocean that like modern technology isn't going to enable us to get down there. Is there any way we can reproduce, duplicate, or transfer Mako and Tsunami's powers into someone else?
That's an interesting theory. My first response is that you probably could learn to use your powers to such an event. Maybe some kind of plant that would convert water's oxygen into a more breathable form, and then with its resilient bark-like structures to protect from the depths in a way that no scuba gear could. Alternatively, I know that Hellcat has spells that allow her to access the depths of the ocean to protect her from all kinds of environmental hazards. But to specifically genetically alter, I would need to begin research on that. I do have some plans for a serum that would enhance powers in a similar way to Cortico, but in a portable function. It's just so experimental right now. The side effects are unpredictable.
For me to like expand my powers, like I would have to be able to use them on myself, but then expand them to everyone around me or anyone else that wouldn't be protected underwater.
Correct. You would need to practice this for sure. And I can prepare a pool and a pressure system to help you do that effort.
If I overheard them saying something about moving powers from individuals to someone else, I guess he'd look at the mace, the gifted cane, and say, I wonder if the power of this cane could be amplified, and instead of sucking up power points, it could suck up, if we got strong enough, it could theoretically maybe suck up someone's gift, as it did transfer a gift into me from my grandfather.
That is an interesting theory. Because it is psychokinetic, it would be beyond my expertise, and she'll wave over Esper, and Esper will offer that it's a fine idea, but it's probably limited to the specific psychic type of powers. However, she herself has used her psychokinesis to create a protective field and was able to dive for some time. And so there's no reason that she couldn't facilitate you all doing this, but it would have the same drawback that her connecting you all had, which is that if you got hurt, it would risk breaking it, and you wouldn't want that to happen underground or underwater.
Okay, so all I have to do is find a psychokinetic or psychic villain and try it out, I guess. Perhaps. Under your supervision, of course.
I suppose that is something that we could look into. It is... We advanced minds are an uncommon but not rare suite of powers.
Yes. I imagine my psychic emanations are much more physical in nature than your more sophisticated mind powers.
Perhaps with a bit more experience, you will learn the finer side of these things. Dr. Muscle is going to address Nina again and mention that Silver Talk was sort of suggesting the idea of transferring gifts is certainly beyond, but it seemed like you were kind of towing the line about suppressing gifts.
Gift? Like in other people?
In other people. This is a technology that the government is already working on. It is theoretically possible, but it would change everything. If such a thing reached the mainstream, then people could treat us like an illness rather than the next step in evolution like we already are.
But we're not a disease to be cured.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, having something like, handcuffs that could suppress powers, to get us safety.
Or prisons, But we cannot allow such technologies to reach the main populace. Otherwise, people are gonna abuse that.
What we have back at the school within the incarceration bay, it's not that the colors disrupt powers, they disrupt focus. And so while they still have all their powers, they just can't access them.
How does that work for something like the crab? Wait. No. I wonder how
It doesn't stop Mako from being a shark person, for instance. But it does prevent them from commuting with any fish, so it's not like we're going to have an octopus swimming into the hangar bay and unlocking them.
I mean, for us, these powers do seem like gifts, but imagine what it's like for some 15-year-old who suddenly can turn into a pig man. Like, do you think he wants to be a pig man? He didn't choose that. I do believe that choice is a matter in these things.
It is, and you come upon a very important thing. One reason Dean Aileries will say as he advances that I started the school is for those whose gifts are more physical, more obvious, and they cannot be suppressed through focus. Same thing, this collar does not suppress those aspects of their gift. It merely prevents them from accessing their more active abilities. What we're saying is that if such a thing did exist, it would be a threat to gifted kind. That is why Dr. Muscles will speak up. I, on principle, refuse to work or study such features.
Oh yeah, what is your body like? Because, I need to try some of that. I need to get my muscles up.
Well, what you need is a high carbohydrate diet, and you need consistency. That's the most important part. Also, you need to have a gift that makes you stronger than other people.
Well,
You get plenty of sunlight, so the chlorophyll can, grow you up.
Honestly, back when I'm still a bouncer, and I do fight drunk gifted with similar abilities to many of you. Let me say, drunk people they can get rowdy. I know my way around gifted. These muscles are pure bona fide, they're real, they ain't gifted. And then you can see he just flexes.
So, Dr. Muscles, with regards to Mako and Tsunami, I wasn't suggesting take away their power, but be able to reproduce it in someone else, because I don't know that we can trust them to be on our side and get us down to Tempest Base. So
it is possible, but it would say for Tsunami, because his gifts are some type of hydrokinesis, it's very difficult for me to pin that one down. For Mako, this might give you a permanent mutation. The issue being that I, without years of work, wouldn't be able to know if that means you wouldn't be able to breathe air anymore, or what other consequences could arise from it.
now, would Mako have the ability to actually help us all be down there, or only herself?
Mako is naturally adapted for the depths. Her only
Tsunami
other...
that could potentially help. Okay.
Tsunami, Esper, Hellcat, or even Tempest could probably all help you out. And so he captive. I'll say question in a moment. She suggests that if you wanted to practice the power yourself, maybe Tsunami would be a good teacher.
Okay.
And what were you going to ask?
So besides, the people we know about, Tsunami and everyone else, are there any other people, creatures that could potentially help us in underwater situations? Have you heard of anyone else or anything else?
I'll just roll a science roll for Dr. Muscles.
Not so much.
Not too much. She says that they are largely the ones that really stick out. Potentially, you could go to Oceania, and in there are a small population of gifted who have, just like in their bloodline, a communion with the ocean. And so they are themselves capable of walking at the depths of the ocean.
Oceania? Where's that at?
That's east of continental Asia. like southeast, like between Asia and Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, like all those islands.
Atlantis.
Like
I knew
Indonesia.
it must be true. They must be Atlanteans.
Atlantis is in the Atlantic, though.
Maybe it's Oceanus. You don't know.
There you go.
They could have moved. You know, maybe the rent was too high and they had to move. Okay? Don't judge me. Pot theories.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't real. I just said it was the wrong ocean.
Anyway, ocean people are ocean people.
And then Badger's gonna step up and say, "Hey, don't be a reductivist."
I'll be as reductive as I like. I will reduct all the ocean people from the oceans if they are hiding Tempest. You know, like, if they don't help us, then, you know, you're with us or you're...
Help us.
That's my view on these things.
It seems like we're ready for the next scene.
I was gonna say, does Dr.
Yeah.
Moss have any suggestions for the other members of our party to be able to enhance their abilities to the underwater environments?
She's not sure what Thaddeus is capable of, so she's a difficult time there because his grandfather was the professor. Esper might have some ideas, as they likely have a linked power. For Samantha, her capability for self-augmentation is peerless. And so if she practices, she probably could learn how to augment herself to survive in any situation, even the depths of space.
And what about Surge, who's, you know,
For Surge,
spirit?
he is similar to Samantha, although his powers are more physical, they are less refined than Samantha's. He also could probably learn to do so the same, but while Samantha's seems to involve some type of physical changes, like when she looks in the dark, her eyes turn to cats. Surge would probably just take his well of personal energies and would simply respire that instead of air. Would use that to thicken his skin, and that would protect him from the crushing depths. Similar effect, but different way to get there.
So, you think Thaddeus could probably use his psionics to make like a force field around him? Maybe to like survive the depths?
Definitely.
Okay. Well, all money is burning a hole in my pocket, but I don't really know how like the shopping mechanic works.
See? Okay, it looks like everybody's going to need to select, like if you see this vestibule at the beginning,
Uh-huh.
click and drag to select an area, and that should enable you to find your character.
You mean the token?
Yeah, your token.
Oh, I can see mine.
There's a fountain in here. So we can move around?
Yeah, well, first I was to say, why don't we take a little break?
Okay.
Bring everybody back. Pause. Break time. And go.
Oh, you got little people moving around.
Yeah, it's a busy mall.
There's a gym over there with a kettlebell.
Oh
There
damn,
is.
I that out.
How do you tell what's actually in the store?
You can look into the door, and you should be able to see through the glass door. If you can't tell, like you want to clarify what it is, let me know and I'll tell you.
I mean, the one that Samantha's in looks like it has clothing in it.
Yes, give me one moment. I'm going to change my screen so I can see everybody at the same time.
I got a toy store over here. This one kind of looks, I don't know. It's got like a rubber ducky in a swimming pool.
So starting with Samantha. Yeah, Samantha's looking at the fun and game store. It does have toys and like board games and things like that. Things for like studying warfare even. And that one, that was the patio store.
So what's this store I'm right in front of?
Let's see here.
Now, can we open the doors and go in?
You can open the doors. Oh, looks like when you move, you open the doors, it moves my screen.
Oh, sorry.
That's the hardware store. It would be a perfectly reasonable place to change the weight of the cane.
Oh yes, please. He's just gonna walk in like trying to make the cane more of a mace, I guess, the gifted mace.
This one looks like laptops and cell phones.
It is an electronics store.
So I'm looking for a horticulture store.
And there's like a foosball and pool table down here.
Yeah, those are for playing games.
The game room, huh?
Not sure what this one is.
Oh yeah, is there any
Appliances, I guess.
Yeah, those are more like a kitchen store.
Yeah.
On the weapons store.
That is literally the weapons store.
I mean, you got the big guns and the little guns, and a kukri on the table.
Is there any like stores about psionics or like, you know, oh, the power of crystals, man, healing crystals or whatever?
Yeah, have you ever heard of East Meets West?
No, not really, but like, is it a crystal healing store?
Not on this floor.
On this floor, but in the mall, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Looks like armor, maybe, or clothing.
That's the survival store, like the camping store.
Yeah, I found tools and looks like this one might be like leather working stuff. Oh, cobbler shoes.
That one is a hot
Yes,
tub.
cobbler.
He said that was like the patio furniture store.
Oh, okay.
The one that Samantha just crossed appears to have like cactuses and succulents on the inside, so it's kind of like a hobby store, but also like a plant store. Not super exotic.
In there.
Yeah, so there are like teddy bears and toys, but there's also on the table like little flowers and things like that.
Living flowers.
Living.
Yeah, I thought they were toys.
Hardware store.
I'll go in here. You know, something living.
They're easy to care for.
Bathroom, I suppose.
I hate when the doors are in the middle of the tile.
Ooh.
So what's the one in front of me right now? Is this just like clothes or bags?
That is the bag store, yes.
Is this one a custom shoe store?
That is the cobbler, yeah, custom shoe store.
So I'll be in the store and I'll ask the shopkeeper, tell me about your succulents.
Oh, we've got all manner of window variety of plants here. Very easy to care for. Very sturdy little things. I don't know if you know about the C4 plants. They have all kinds of interesting adaptations for hot and cold weather. Something you're interested in? I mean, they're not expensive. If you wanted to get a dozen for $20, it'd be no issue at all.
How long can they go without care?
Oh, they spend months at a time waiting for water, and even then they just need a few times per year. So I would say probably all season.
All right, I'll pick up some.
All right, so I'm just going to put this into the Discord. You're spending like $20.
Yeah.
Or succulents.
Get the games.
I suppose I'll head to like the hardware store to try and like see about my mace, my cane.
Go ahead. Open the door. Step on in.
The hat
Oh.
store.
That is a hat store. But you see that there's some wizard hats there.
Oh,
He might know a thing or two.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pull rabbits out of my hat. That's my gift. So in the shop, I guess I'll just like talk to the guy and say, "Hey, I'm looking to turn this cane into a sort of mace of sorts. Do you suppose you could help me with this matter?"
Oh, looks like you're trying to get ready for some Heba event, huh?
Yes, indeed. I like medieval combat, you see, and I'm getting into this tournament. I need it to be as sharp as possible. Bludgeoning is what I'm looking for.
Certainly. You're not the first person coming here with a similar goal. Honestly, I'm personally a fan of colonial reenactment, but I can see the interest in Renaissance and medieval.
Yes, a fellow man of culture.
And so it's pretty easy if you're just looking to like turn this into a heavy weapon. It's going to cost you 50 gold. Sorry, 50. I'm just playing D&D and Pathfinder. $50 just to turn it into like a heavy club type thing. It would be $200 to turn it into something with a little bit of armor piercing.
I suppose I could do $200. How much money do I have
You
currently?
have $2,000.
Okay,
And
then
I
totally.
didn't calculate what you have like from your starting 500, so we just say 2,000. The next option is to turn it into a two-handed weapon for $400.
So 400, would that also make it armor piercing or just?
Yeah, those are the three tiers. You could have it be a heavy one-handed weapon that's just like a strong club. You can make it a heavier one-handed weapon for the 200, or you can make it a strong two-handed weapon for 400.
I'm putting all my money in this mace. This is my family heirloom. 400. Let's go.
A gifted maul from the mall.
Yes. And also, do you know where I could find some barbed wire? I'm having some raccoon problems, and I kind of don't want them getting into my stuff.
Well, we don't have any barbed wire, but I do have some razor wire. Gotta be careful with this stuff.
Yes, I mean, anywhere in the mall would there be barbed wire?
No.
Okay, then just like razor wire is fine, I guess.
In my personal opinion, razor wire is a lot scarier than barbed wire.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose I could grab some razor wire. And how much would that cost? Just like,
It looks like you can get like it's a 50 feet of razor wire for $50.
oh, I won't need 50 feet. I'm just gonna circle it around my mace and just
That's
make it.
the smallest spool you can get.
Okay, then I guess it's gonna be, yeah, he's just gonna get 50 feet of razor wire, and then I guess out of sight of this guy because he doesn't want to be reported to police. He's gonna he's gonna wrap his mace in razor wire. That is his plan.
A truly brutal weapon.
Yes. I believe I shall call this weapon Scorn, because it is very scornful. And also that's yeah. I guess it is his favorite weapon, so he's gonna name it something cool.
Alright, is Samantha trying to go upstairs or still exploring the downstairs?
She was upstairs. She was looking for sorcery books and stuff, but I didn't see any bookstores.
There was not a bookstore, but you did find the hat store.
Okay.
There's a jewelry store
There is a jewelry store.
I
That's the
found a
east, east, west.
with plants.
Is that down on the first floor or upstairs?
It's on the second floor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you
How do
found.
we-
If you just put your token on the stairs, it should bring you up. I didn't want the tokens on the second floor accidentally walking down to the first floor, so I did make it so you can't go downstairs again without my help.
Okay.
And I think you had
I got it.
Serge followed on me. Yeah, he didn't follow me up the stairs.
No, that's fine.
Standing there.
So let me go ahead and click on Nina. There we go.
So tell me about these plants.
So you've got like a dozen succulents on your hands, and you come in, and why don't you roll? Do you have any relevant skill for this?
For
For identifying plant? I feel like survival is the skill you
Well, I
have.
research.
That would be if you were like,
Academic.
you can use research in this place, but you're going to be approached while you're using the books to try and identify these plants.
I mean, common knowledge, but I mean, wouldn't I just ask the shopkeeper?
You could also just ask the shopkeeper.
That would be what I would do. Tell me about your plants.
Oh, certainly. We have all manner of exotic plants. The one I'm particularly fond of is the verbena, also known as enchanter's herb. And she points to one of these green leafy ones over here. It is well known for its restorative properties and its ability to protect against dangers. Is this something you're interested in, young lady? Perhaps,
Yeah, being able to protect and restore is one of my sought after abilities.
yes, very popular. I would recommend verbena first of all, unless there are spirits that are posing you an issue.
And I hope not. But no, it's mostly, people and elements.
Yes, I think verbena is what you'd be interested in.
How much does the plant cost?
So Google
Huh?
is going to be $200 for the fully grown verbena. This is not a regular verbena. This is a exotic verbena.
Okay. Alright,
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You go.
Are there any other plants in here that would be useful for aquatic environments or linking people together?
We're linking people together. Oh, an interesting question you have there. We do have the salvia. It is typically turned into a tea or an extract, but some people like to burn it. And if it's done with people, I know that it can be a very intense experience that can bring you closer. Is that what you mean?
Thinking more like allowing communication between people without being able to talk. Like enhancing mental abilities.
Well, also you said you were interested in aquatic plants at the same time.
Yes, separate. Well, I'm going underwater where I won't be able to communicate with speaking, and I need to survive underwater elements.
Watercress may be what you're interested in. This is a high affinity for those areas. It's not particular for uniting people, but it is nutrient rich and it should help you if you're casting some incantation. Acidic 2 water.
How much is that one?
That one will be $50.
Okay. I'll take that one as well.
50 for watercress.
So the salvia, what exactly how does it make people closer?
It can be used in many ways, but the ritual I'm familiar with is essentially sitting together and taking the salvia through whichever route you prefer, and that should help melt away the boundaries between your ego and their id, and that should enable some type of communion.
That actually might be incredibly helpful.
I have the salvia as both the pure plant and an extract.
I would rather have the plant.
It will be $35 for the plant. 1 pound of dried leaves.
Okay. So the verbena is a fully, like, it's the plant itself. The
Yes.
salvia is the leaves, and then the watercress is also a plant?
Yes.
Okay. Are any of these other exotic plants of interest to an adventurer having to go out into the world?
What a peculiar question. Why don't you roll persuasion for me?
Okay.
Oh wait.
She gives you a funny look and says that it isn't. It's been a long time since somebody your age has expressed such interest in the occult. Are you looking for books or anything?
I could be. I've kind of always naturally had a connection to plants. It just comes naturally. But it could be interesting to enhance my abilities and in other ways through study.
And she'll go to this red plant in the corner. It is a spiky, somewhat interesting looking plant. She says, this is Sempervivum tectorum. It is well known among the mountains of southern Europe for its ability to protect against lightning strikes.
Cool.
That would have come in handy last time.
How much is that one?
This one will also be $200
And that's for the plant itself?
for the full plant itself.
Yeah, I'll take that one as well.
I wanted to ask, what's this shop that's right in front of me? Is this like clothing or tailors?
So we've wanted to type this down, and then I will go to you. So you are on the second floor.
Yep.
That's a pottery store.
Okay. Well, I couldn't tell if there was any libraries on this floor, like bookshops or.
There do not appear to be any libraries in the mall. Damn,
Okay.
Amazon and tablets put them out of business.
Is there any like jewelry shops or like shops with gems or
There was.
crystals?
There is. Actually, you're standing in front of the jewelry shop right now.
Okay. I guess I'll try to enter and see if there's any psionically powerful crystals.
I'll come to you in a bit. I'm going to return to Samantha.
So I'm going to ask the salesperson if there's anything here that can unlock or enhance sorceress or witchcraft ability.
You come in with a very pointed question. Please roll persuasion. That's a good roll. Yes, he explains that some people don't believe it, but some of these hats actually can be the first key to opening your spellcasting potential. He has a few hats, and most of them have inscribed on the label within it your first spell. But these magic hats are very expensive because they contain real magic.
How much is very expensive?
$500.
Oh, okay. So can you tell me what each of them does? Like, what does this blue one do?
I didn't link them to any particular color,
Okay.
but let me go to my list. I just had a list of like the powers that they have.
Oh, that's fine.
So he has Arcane Protection, Beast Friend, so you can like talk to and control animals, Detect or Conceal Magic, Arcana, Empathy, so you can kind of like do a very weak mind reading, and Summon Ally. Specifically, you can summon an owl familiar.
Wow. Unfortunately, you can only wear one hat at a time.
You can only wear one hat at a time, but you can possess more than one hat.
So definitely the owl. And what were the first two again?
First two are Arcane Protection and Detecting Magic.
Think Arcane Protection.
Taking 2 hats.
Yep.
Arcane Protection and Summon Ally. And I'll make those items up before next session.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back upstairs.
So I don't know if you want to go to Thaddeus next, but I was going to ask this lady more questions.
Yeah, let's do some more plant stuff.
Okay. Well, she told me about the lightning plant, and so, but she had mentioned a occult book, so I wanted to circle back to that.
Certainly, she does have a few books that she keeps with her for reference. Some of them about herbs, some of them about magic in general. Were you interested in going down the path of Wicca? You've kind of got, like, you were told by Hellcat that your gifts don't seem to commune with magic in the contemporaneous sense, but they probably, like you are, I'm just saying, like, you're parallel to spellcasting, and so you probably could learn something from these books.
So these books, do you loan these out for like a collateral?
I've read these books before, and I keep them in my shop specifically to sell them.
Oh, okay.
She has 3 books, and they're all like, they've got like the strange kind of psychedelic covers.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is The Complete Book of Natural Magic with a K at the end. Another one is The Ancient Magic with a K of Trees.
Oh, okay.
And The Little Book of Earth Magic is the other one. This one does not have a K on it. The Complete Book of Natural Magic is $200. The Ancient Magic of Trees is $100, and The Little Book of Earth Magic is $20.
Okay. Well, I think I would be interested in the first 2. Nature magic and the ancient magic of trees. if I could get those 2 books.
Certainly.
But I guess for the team and the school in general, like buying all 3 wouldn't hurt. I think I still have plenty of money.
Yeah, you probably would. So you're spending $350?
Yeah.
Magic, Ancient Magic of Trees.
Little Book of Earth Magic.
And the Little Book of Earth Magic.
And then of the other plants in here, what do the others do or are useful for?
And without going into great detail about each of them, she will explain like the general warding nature. Like it appears that most of these plants are focused on healing and warding.
Okay.
And just that the salvia specifically was more of a divination type plant.
Okay. And then the one I bought, the verbena, that one was the best for like a healing protection of the others. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and all your stuff. And I will exit.
She will politely not count the bills, and she says, "Thank you so much for your interest. Feel free to come by another time. I would be happy to hear of your exploits in the magical realm in the future."
Thank you.
Now to Thaddeus and Samantha.
So, as I enter the shop, I'm kind of like he's looking for gemstones, crystals, or anything that can amplify or augment psychic powers. So, I think what he's going to try to do to search for them is he's going to put one hand on the cane and trying to use the cane to focus on psychic energies in the shop. Try to find out if there's any crystals that are magical in nature or superpowered.
You can spend a Benny for the power stunt and then roll focus.
Okay. Benny, yeah. So, skills and focus.
You do detect that there appears to be a vambrace over here that has an amethyst with it, and only that amethyst appears to have some type of resonance with it.
Hey, shopkeep, do you know where this bracelet comes from, this amethyst?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question. You want me to pull up the history of this?
Oh no, just like the I guess he's just gonna try and figure out what this thing does. Do you know does this amethyst have a history of any weird things with it? Is it some would say strange or abnormal?
Well, this Australian amethyst is one of the darkest and rarest in my possession. It is known to be associated with cleansing, protection, as well as life and rebirth, if that's what you're asking.
Ah, a crystal of vigor. Okay. I can see what you're putting down. How much would it be for this amethyst? For this bracelet, bracer?
Well, this entire piece is worth, and they're going to highball you, so it's going to be like some kind of negotiation to lower the price, but they're selling it at $1,500.
$1,500? So,
there are many gemstones in this piece. Out of game, that's
is this
not that expensive for as far as jewelry goes.
Oh yeah, but out of game, would it be worth a lot of money, this thing, or not?
It is absolutely like filled with gemstones and probably made of a rare metal.
Okay.
It doesn't appear that this person is aware of any psychic potential within it.
Okay. Sir, it cannot be worth that much. You must be reasonable. I'll try, persuasion. Persuasion, let's see, please.
And he says that he must stand firm on this. To sell for any less would be an insult to his store. He does have to maintain the doors.
Can I roll a Benny on that?
Of course you can. You can spend a penny.
I would love to spend a Benny.
Roll it again.
Persuasion.
That's better. He says he thinks you could go as low as 1,000.
1,000, okay. How much would it be for one per, is it just one gem, or is it all of the gems combined that are psychic?
So just the amethyst in it is psychic, but they're forcing you to basically buy the entire bracer.
1,000 gold. $1,000. Well, I can always ask some of my friends for some extra money.
You
So
still have $1,000.
I still do. You know, how much money do I have? Just 1,000, or?
You have 1,550 left.
Okay. I suppose so. I shall claim this bracelet. What is it? It's like a brazier or a
Yeah, it's a single van brace.
van brace. Okay. I guess he'll put on the van brace and he'll pay for it. Shopkeep, do you also know of any, type of, how should I put this? Do you know of any, crystal or gem that is conductive for electricity?
I
don't
know of any gems that are conductive to electricity.
Okay. I've also come to ask about... I've heard tale that gems are magical in nature, that some people use them for mystical means and the like. Would you know anything about such practices? Oh, I don't know. You just shoot in the dark here, shopkeep.
No, I'm afraid I don't subscribe to any of those magazines or anything. I don't take particular stock in astrology or crystal healing or things like that. I don't even believe the news when they talk about flying people or these what do they call these gifted out in the world. I feel like that's just phony baloney.
You do not. Okay. How quaint. Would you like to see a magic trick, shopkeep?
Does anybody else have any other shopping they'd like to do?
I do.
Oh.
I am now in the gun store.
So this
The
guy,
upstairs gun store.
The upstairs gun store.
It was right next to the plant store.
It is.
So I would like to ask the shopkeeper if she has any long distance firearm that will fire underwater.
Well,
It's a long shot, but
it is very unusual for someone your age to be purchasing such a specialized piece of artillery. Please roll a persuasion. She suggests that she does have a harpoon gun.
how far will it go?
Usually
No,
shoots
it's
about
attached to
100 feet underwater.
How accurate is it?
About as accurate as a crossbow.
Okay. How much is it?
Scrolling through. That's $400.
Is it just one harpoon that you reel back in?
That would be including one shot. You would have to purchase additional ones if you wanted them.
But are they attached to rope?
They do come with a nylon cord.
Okay. So each harpoon comes with the 100-foot cord.
Yes.
How much is extra ammunition?
Scroll in. It's $10 per additional bolt.
Can I get the harpoon gun with 2 spare bolts?
$120. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And then-
Anything else from Samantha?
So this guy did not seem like he was with it like the guy downstairs in the hat shop, right?
Correct. He is not a true believer.
Can I roll focus to see if I notice anything about any of these items?
Spend a Benny because you don't have that power, except you can put on your hat. Because you have the detect hat, don't you?
No, I have the protect.
Oh, you got protect, not detect. So you would need to spend a Benny to power stunt it.
That's okay. I think I'll go back downstairs and buy the kukri. Was that downstairs or upstairs?
I think that's downstairs.
Okay.
Oh yes, I'd also like to go downstairs to try and find a tailor.
There is a tailor. I think a kukri is just going to be another dagger or knife.
Oh, really? That's all it is? So I don't need another.
Unless you want to do it as a short sword. Your trademark knife is better than the kukri.
I was going to say there's nothing
Yeah.
special about the kukri. It's just a kukri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it then.
It's just got a cool curve in it.
I will go back to the hat store and buy the detect hat, though.
I'll just put that into your list.
Okay.
You have found a use for it.
I will walk down and meet back with them, like lugging all my plants with this like harpoon gun strapped to my back. So they may question me.
And then if we're getting ready to leave soon, I will just do one quick loop around that jewelry store to see if anything is magic.
You put on your hat, and you find that while you have the hat on your head, you have a D4 in the spellcasting skill. I will put a spellcasting onto your sheet.
Okay.
And you can roll spellcasting. Samantha opens her eyes for what feels like the first time, and she feels the magic radiate off of her body and then bounce off the things around her. She does detect a small residual trace where the vambrace was, but she also finds that there is a diamond amongst all of these as well that possesses a small bit of power to it.
So how much for this diamond?
$600. It's embedded in a ring.
Oh. So I'll give you 500.
Roll persuasion. A deal. All right.
So, if there is a shop, like a tailor shop downstairs,
There is.
I might want to go check that out because I'm thinking I want some electric protection because he does want to kill, face off against Tempest. So he'll look for any like fabric or cloth that is like less conductive, maybe like rubberish, to like disperse electricity and make it more less make him not get killed by lightning.
What a very specific thing to be looking for. You must be trying to become an electrician.
Yes, I am actually a weatherman. I go out to storms. I'm a meteorologist. I go to.
I didn't ask for your whole life story, man. I'm just here to do my job.
Okay, well,
in order to have this type of energy protection, it's going to be, for what you currently have, it's going to be $350. But you know that you also get the opportunity to inherit the gifted battle armor from Theodore. And if you describe it to him, he says it's probably going to be about $800 to get something like that. Have a Faraday cage embedded.
So, I already, in Armor and Shields, I have like the gifted heavy battle armor. Is that like my armor, or?
Yes, that's what he's going to be. That's what Dean is going to be giving to you. And so that would be $800 to upgrade it.
Okay. I guess I whispered to like Samantha, "Hey, do you have like $200? I really don't want to get killed by lightning this time."
I just magic ring.
Please.
And I don't think Samantha has any other money at all.
Shoot. Nina, please, I'm begging you. This is a good investment, okay?
I can help you negotiate, maybe.
Maybe if we press gang him into making it a cheaper price. Yeah. That'll work.
Don't be a dick.
Nina has $725 remaining.
Listen, Nina. I know you recently met me, and I maybe have said some things that are not the most sound of mind, but I really don't want to be killed by lightning like my grandfather was. It's kind of like a nightmare for me. That's not the way I want to go out.
Bought a plant that protects against lightning.
Yes, but that is like out of game. I think to just like Tempest seems like a very powerful boss, and those plants seem like they're more like potions, temporary effects that can go away, and maybe if you're not close enough, like you can't get it.
You're saying you intend to swim away from the group.
I mean,
Leroy Jenkins style.
I maybe have kind of made some of my hindrances where I challenge the most powerful person and I run ahead of the group. Maybe that is a hindrance of mine, possibly, perhaps.
Inherited from your grandfather.
He is arrogant and overconfident. That's his hindrances. So pretty much that's kind of how I have to play him. But also like, even if I just feel like that I better just get like more protection than I like need just in case, you know? Is it fine with you if I get $200 or like
Did you try to negotiate him down to 600 first?
That is a good idea. I will go in there and I'll try to negotiate with him. And then if I can't, I'll ask you for $200, if that is okay. I don't want to steal your money or like anything, because, you know, you have your right to deny me.
Well, we also can go back to school and keep learning new skills, prep for a mission.
But yeah, I don't.
But I don't think.
down there yet.
So
I don't think electric resistance is in my guy's capabilities, being a psychic.
A lot is possible if you learn the right powers.
I'm gonna try persuasion with this guy to like say, hey, maybe put it down to
psychic. Why don't you use psychic powers to?
I'm okay. It's more like I'm psychokinetic. It's not like I can manipulate people's minds right now. I just like use my power to do telekinesis and
Do
stuff.
physical things, not mental things.
Yeah.
Well, then all you need to do is just have lightning rods around yourself.
Okay. I don't think I succeeded because I got a 3.
You do not. I'm going to spend one of my bennies, and then in this room, as you're making your negotiations, a sphere bursts through the wall and says gifted, detected, and then that is going to be the beginning of next session.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sentinels.
I guess my guy just freaks out and tries to bash him in with a mace.
You probably will. And that's today. Did everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy better give me a discount price because I'm saving him from a robot.
We'll see how that gets interpreted.
So with the books I bought, is that something that like between sessions, like the knowledge of what I could learn from those books, is that something that could be done between sessions?
Yes, it will have to be between sessions, not between this session and next session, of course, because you won't have had any downtime, but between this session and next session, we can discuss what your different things do, because I kind of have like some idea for the hats. So like it kind of wrote itself. It gives you the D4, but of course, if Samantha learns spellcasting as the skill, then it doesn't boost it to a D6. It's like it gives you the basement of a D4.
Okay.
Well, I
So-
feel like
For most of
for our
the
next
plants,
session,
yeah,
we need like we kind of need as like to refigure out how the team's going to work, especially if we can add some more people, like recruit new teammates. But we kind of need to like grow our abilities. Like Dr. Muscle said, set up a practice pool. So I think it's kind of back to like a training scenario.
yes.
After we take care of the sentinel out there.
Yeah.
For the plants, my figuring was that basically they're going to let you do a power stunt without spending a hero point, without spending a Benny. That's what most of the plants are going to do. The books, I might actually let the books, like as long as you have you're carrying the book with your character, they will give you a power you can use. So it's like it's the same thing. Like you can use a power you don't normally have access to without spending the Benny to do so. And each of those books will have their own power.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
that's-
sick.
I mean, for the Gifted Maul, we just upgraded it, so it's going to be a 2-handed weapon. For the Razor Wire, that one's like basically just flavor, so you can choose to do like bludgeoning or slashing damage.
I also wanted to ask, what's the deal with the bracer? Like, is it like what does it do?
I figured what that would do is that you could store a maintained power into it, so your character no longer needs to make the concentration save if you get shaken or anything. It's not, unless like somebody breaks the band brace. Like it does bolster your psychic powers, but in the sense that you can maintain extra powers that way.
Okay.
Right now you only have smite, I think, as your maintained power, but that means that you can basically cast smite, put it into the band brace, and then you can't get your smite removed.
Oh, that's cool. I also wanted to ask, like, for the the books and stuff, is that able to be used by multiple people, or is it just like a one-person thing? Like
It's
only
whoever-
one person.
Whoever's holding the book,
Okay.
and we would just need to kind of like decide which power each book holds, and it would need to make sense. I think right now, really, due to the nature of your powers, any of you could kind of like use the books to influence your stuff, but they're supposed to go off of the spellcasting trait, except for Nina, because she uses natural based powers. You have the trappings of this, so you can use your focus with them.
like, I mean, if you go in the order, like, how much they were worth, like, I figure the nature magic would be something pretty big, and then the ancient magic of trees would be kind of middle, but then the little book of earth magic is probably something like, you know, a gnat, a little annoying something another that you can do, a distraction or something.
The Book of Earth sounds pretty cool. Isn't that like rock and stone?
Little book of Earth.
I always think that the little book of Earth would be the burrow power.
Oh, so you can just be a mole.
Naked mole rat.
Yeah.
And anybody's guess what that diamond ring does.
I mean,
I have
honestly,
an idea. I'm just what other people would like to say.
Yeah, I mean.
So my only other question, just kind of how this session kind of wrapped up for Surge and then any potential new people, will they get like a shopping trip?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Brian and I we can get a shopping trip for Surge because he would have been here. Other people, I would give them the $2,000 ahead of time, and then they would be whatever supernatural they are, and then this thing could go after them as well, and that's how I would incorporate them into the next scene as soon as possible.
And so we're looking, since we did this one on April 1st, are we looking at what's the next month? May?
It could be
May.
a late April or a May session, yeah. Because this is the 1st of April, so I wouldn't mind doing another one like April 29th.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could do it April 29th.
We'll float that idea. We'll see if we get a 5th player. Otherwise, any stars and wishes for the session?
I definitely liked how everyone got the chance to get something, like a unique item for themselves.
I'm glad you enjoyed your shopping trip.
Well, I think beyond the shopping, I like how you've designed kind of our superpowers to be part of what we, choose, how we, build the character from the rules and all the edges and stuff. But then, you're upgrading us as well.
Like how I'm slowly enhancing the verdant core?
Yeah, that one's cool. And then with Sam's, here's your just amazing knife that's now a molecular edge. Cut through anything.
I'm glad you like that. I kind of got that from my D&D campaign where everybody has an artifact. I think it's cool to build the relationship between heroes and their items of power.
Well, so I'm not all that big into superheroes, but I grew up watching Sailor Moon, and so they always had their devices, that triggered their transformation. So it's kind of like upgrading those.
Yeah.
And I guess that was common in a lot of anime. The Power Rangers had whatever they had. I don't remember. Or Captain Planet.
As a giant bloody mace for his, I guess, Sailor Moon transformation.
And it's just a little bit different take on it, but I appreciated the fact that we don't just have Ghost Smash Tempest. We also have Clone infiltrating the government and insinuating a whole other storyline.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing that. I think there's supposed to be kind of a living world feeling, and you'll get to the chance to prioritize which one of those you want to go in, and then of course the other plotline is going to advance at the same time.
Yeah. Nip Clone in the bud, or we can go after Tempest.
I mean, Clone seems kind of she's more of a disguise person. Most of fighter. She's kind of wimpy, honestly. Not an invitation to make her stronger.
Of the United States?
We need to kill the president. Then I don't know what to say.
You're on a watch list.
John Will Booth, man, we gotta live up to the reputation.
She's probably responsible for the Sentinel that came after us.
Yeah, but it'll be easy. We'll just I'll bash him with my mace. See how powerful it's gotten. Because I believe in my character sheet I have a 12 in like skill in like fighting. I think
I'm not sure. I don't think you do.
I have a
This
D10.
session was like kind of a downtime session. We are not leveling up between this one and next one.
You are still getting an advance this session.
Oh, sick.
You'll still get an advance. Plenty of time to work on that for me to bring.
Advance.
I think this is your first veteran advance, yeah.
Oh,
It'll be the 7th one, I think.
This would be your 8th advance.
Okay. I didn't have a good record keeping for how to take notes on that part.
I'm always putting them on your character sheets in the about section.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm
honestly, I'm glad I got a new character because I didn't pre-plan Theodore, so it's good to be able to pre-plan a character.
Yeah, that is a benefit. Like, you guys didn't get to build the characters to grow. They're supposed to be like base characters. And then I just had so much fun. I wanted to keep the story going. I'm guilty of that a few times.
But I gotta say that Savage Worlds, like, my only real complaint about it is that it doesn't have like an SRD. And the only reason for me is I like to be able to search things.
I agree with you there.
I mean, so having to have like all the books, like if I've got the books or the PDFs and then just find them one at a time, it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe this one was in this other book and then have to go look at it.
Yeah.
So
a combined atlas or index or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you could try it, it would be cool.
There's no SRD, there's no OGL for Savage Worlds. Like, it's not an open system, so they're never going to have that.
Well, see, for me, like, oh yeah. I mean, for me, I've thought about taking all my PDFs and like putting them into Obsidian, but it would only ever just be for me because you can't, you know, ethically and legally, you're not going to be able to share that.
Yeah.
But I just like.
Yeah, so that's your problem.
But as far as the system goes, like, I really love the system. It's so much fun.
It is. I look forward to running the Helldivers session sometime in the next few months after Daggerheart.
Oh yeah, isn't that by like Critical Role, that Daggerheart thing?
It is.
Sick.
But all right, yeah, thanks for playing, everybody. Hopefully we'll get another player. I'll get Brian, and next time I'll catch you all online. And have a good night.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.